All right, everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're here responding to a comment here from NSPGcertified, which apparently it seems like they also post content as well, according to what I'm seeing here. They seem to post a lot of Survivor content, it seems like. So shout out to them for the comment. You know, all due respect, of course. But yeah, it does seem like they are very Survivor focused. So it seems like they took a little bit personal with talking about this topic. So let's hear it. So let's begin. So they say, I don't really understand the point of your video. Which, I mean, you know, maybe you should have watched the whole thing, but either way. Their video was talking about the human-to-human connection we share with the people who play our trials with us and their own personal struggles with unusual situations. Which, yeah, obviously, like I'm pretty sure I acknowledged that in the video. Like what? And then they say, a point you acknowledge multiple times and claim to understand despite not agreeing with it. Yes, so that, yeah, obviously that was already said. Yet at every opportunity you attempt to dismiss this aspect of the game by saying it's not true to the characters we're controlling. So did you not hear the other points that I made as well, or are we just like, you know, kind of cherry picking the points here? Because this is not really because you're saying that I'm attempting to dismiss this aspect, but I'm literally just saying that I don't participate in that type of gameplay. So how is that dismissing it? I'm literally saying me personally, I don't participate in it. I don't think that. What? Like, what is that? What do you mean that's like, how is that dismissing anything? I didn't say, hey, you shouldn't play like that. I said, hey, I like, from my understanding, my perspective, blah, blah, blah. What are you talking about? So they say, at the end of the day, we aren't the character we control in the video game. We're just people playing a game with other people. Yeah, exactly. So nobody said that we aren't. I was just saying that literally, like, if you actually listen to the video, I was saying that this is one of the only games I think ever, for whatever reason, we have this strange culture around like trying to play against what the game was designed for us to do, which is very strange because you can load up a game like Call of Duty, Apex Legends, a fighting game, whatever have you, and there's nothing within those communities like saying that, oh, you shouldn't have played the way that you played because that was like a bad thing or something, like, oh, you shot at that operator in that one COD game, so you're bad, like you're a bad person. It's like, what are you talking about? like no, like what are you talking about? I already spoke about this point in the video itself. You can watch that as well, but apparently they aren't really watching that. And then they said, in this 30-minute video of you missing the point, entirely added no substance whatsoever. I'm like, no, I added. I think your comment is the thing that's not adding substance, because you're literally coming up with a point that was not even being said. Because I didn't dismiss any aspects. I was literally just saying and acknowledging. And mind you, the video is not actually 30 minutes; it's 26 minutes. But anyway, goes to show they didn't watch the whole thing. But if you want the full context, the video is right there. You could easily just rewind it and replay it if you need to understand what the point was. So I think what the one not adding substance is yourself. I mean, I'm not dismissing anybody's point here. I'm not dismissing their perspective of the game at all. I literally said that as I don't play in this way, I'm watching the video to quite literally understand what the other side is trying to talk about. So I tried to respond and I said, I think you misunderstood the point completely, which doesn't mean I added no substance. Those are two different things. I am discussing the video as someone who is in the complete opposite in playstyle and therefore trying to understand what that perspective is and creating a conversation around that. Because and mind you, they literally said at the very beginning, they said, I don't really understand the point behind your video. So I just want to make that clear. They literally said themselves, I don't really understand what's the point behind your video. So I literally explained it. And then this other person had said like, oh, like they're treating multiplayer games as single player. And I'm like, yeah, but you're one person versus 4. I think you should be more concerned about yourself, considering you're the only, that's the only thing you have any control over. it's a 1v4. Like, you need to be able to have fun, and if your goal is to win, you're gonna have to, that's what you have in mind. So I don't understand why that's such a shock to say that. So they respond by saying, I understand perfectly fine. So which is it then? Like, you said that you didn't understand. I explained it, and now you're saying you do understand. So then why are you saying you don't understand then? Like, what are you talking about? Which you clearly still don't understand if you don't even understand the point I was making in the first place, and you made up something else. But let's continue. So they said, having different playstyles is encouraged, as it'd be a stale game without it. Okay, but isn't literally my own playstyle a playstyle? Huh? Like, what are you talking about? I acknowledge you're a polar opposite, which is why I might have enjoyed listening to you state your differences in opinion. So you acknowledge it, but then you still ignore it, is what I'm understanding. Like, you're saying one point, but then you're retracting it. Like, what are you talking about? Instead, you kept dodging their point and repeating the same 3 lines for 30 minutes. What are you talking about? Dodging their point. What do you mean dodging their point? Like, what are you talking about? What? Like, what do you mean? Yo. Dodging their point. Like, I didn't dodge any point. I directly acknowledged and I literally said I understood the perspective, but it's not something that I will participate in. I don't know why that's such a shock. Like, why that's so crazy to say. And then repeated the same 3 lines. And then here, okay, ready for this. He says, quote, I understand, but I don't understand. I play Ghostface and I can't risk having fun. Survivors are scum. There is so much wrong with this statement. It's astronomical. Like the leaps and bounds you have to get here. I literally, which mind you, me saying I understand but I don't understand is what I was trying to say was I acknowledge the standpoint. Like I acknowledge it. I can see the perspective. But what I'm saying is I don't experience those things or I don't participate in those things. I was using the word understand interchangeably, so I understand that there was confusion behind that. I did say I play Ghostface. But the part where you go, and I can't risk having fun. Like, what makes you think that playstyle is fun for me or fun for somebody else? You're already assuming that somebody thinks that everybody thinks that everybody's fun is the same. I don't personally find that playstyle fun, so I don't do it. I like to actually play the game competitively to you know, go and improve my playstyle, not improve my playstyle, but to improve at my killer, to improve at my abilities, to try to get better at the game. That to me is what I find fun, getting better at my character. And then you round it out with survivors are scum. Like, not in any single point did I ever say that. I never said that. And if I somehow did, pull out the timestamp, because there's literally 0 point where I ever said those words. So stop it, bro. This is what I'm saying. I mentioned this in another video if it's already up. These people are make up narratives, and then they fill in the blanks in their head, and then they make it seem like you're somebody that you're not. I never said that I can't risk having fun, meaning that you think it's fun and you enjoy that playstyle, which is perfectly fine. But me saying I don't enjoy it somehow becomes like this crazy idea that, oh, what do you mean? That's fun. It's like, yeah, fun for yourself, but it's not fun for me. It could be not fun for somebody else I know, or it could be fun for somebody we don't know. We don't know that information. If it's supposedly having different playstyles is encouraged and it's a stale game without it, how is it then a problem that somebody has a different playstyle? Like, you gotta make up your mind, dude. They go, there's no substance. I'm like, no, your comments don't have substance. What are you talking about, dude? Then they say it comes off as someone who lives on DVD Twitter. It's like, no, your comments are coming off that way, dude. Like, have some self-awareness. You're writing a whole paragraph and making up a narrative by yourself in your own head. Like, nobody ever said any of these points you're making up. Like, what are you talking about? Not everybody who plays this game wants you to have a miserable time. It's like, nobody said that they did. I was just saying that people focus on their own fun. How is that a shocking statement? I don't know. I mean, that's a perfectly normal thing to assume. I'm pretty sure, like, as a like, isn't that something that people say all the time? Like, if you're like, nobody can tell you like what to bring or what not to bring and stuff like that. Isn't that literally what people say? That it's not your responsibility to pick things that are, especially on Survivor, they constantly talk about this. We shouldn't be held responsible, and we shouldn't be picking things that we think is like unfun for the killer. Because mind you, nobody does that. Everybody's playing the game because they want to have fun. They're playing a video game to have fun. They're not going to police their own builds and not run stuff they think would be unfun for the other side. It just never happens. They're running stuff that they think would be interesting to use. Also, obviously, you don't have teammates, but again, that wasn't the point. I'm like, so then why are you bringing it up? Like, what are you doing? Like it or not, those people are in the trial with you. Choosing to only view them as obstacles is probably why they bag at the exit gate. Once again, a non-point. You can literally play fairly and you'll still get bagged at the gate. You can play any way you want. You'll still get bagged at the gate regardless. It does not matter. Literally. You could have played fairly. You could have played how survivors deem it, scummy, quote unquote. You could play it any way you want and you'll still see this. It's not like it magically changes depending on how you play. Like, that's just not how it works. Ghostface is one of the most expressive killers, and you could be making friends instead of foes if you take your foot off the gas a little. There's so much wrong with this like statement. It's actually like crazy work. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Okay. So when you're talking about expressive killer, what are you referring to? Because if you're talking about skill expression, SK, who's considered probably the #1 Ghostface in the leaderboards, has even stated in an interview that, like, you know, there really isn't a lot to learn with Ghostface. Like, once you kind of knock down the stalking aspects, trying to avoid getting revealed, that's pretty much as far as your knowledge can go. That's pretty much as far as it goes. It's very simple, and it doesn't have a lot of depth. It's not like a Wesker or a Nurse or, you know, another character that really requires you to really spend like a couple hundred hours really knocking it, especially even Hillbilly. I would even imagine it's like trying to, you know, constantly keep practicing to improve and get better. That's not really something that Ghostface necessarily has like the deepest pool of knowledge to get. So that in itself already, I would disagree with entirely. That is completely untrue when we're talking about skill expression. If you're talking about expressive, and if you're talking about just general expressiveness, I would have to disagree with that as well. I mean, the most that he does is quite literally just crouch. If we're really talking about expressive killers, we can talk about characters like Wesker or Singularity that actually talk to the survivors. They insult them, you know what I'm saying? Like, Singularity's always talking about their like gene integrity and little worm and stuff like that. And then like Wesker's like taunting the survivors too. He's like, is that the best you've got? Like, stuff like that. I can understand that as well. But like Ghostface has a mask on, so it's not like he has any facial expressions. If you're talking about that, which both ways it's incorrect. So I don't think that's how that works. Secondly, they say you could be making friends instead of foes. But the thing is that there's already a lot wrong with that statement in general. Number one, who's walking around trying to make foes with people on the other side? Like, we're just playing a video game. It isn't that deep, number one. And number two, friends in what way, right? Because like these people that are playing Survivor are Survivor players. They're potentially Survivor mains. I'm playing killer. So what am I really trying to accomplish with that type of interaction? These people either are, you know, are going to stay playing Survivor, obviously, and then what am I doing? I'm still playing killer, right? So like, I'm not going to be joining their party to play Survivor because that's just not a side I enjoy. So that already seems a bit pointless. But it also, I have to point out, like, you're trying to make it an us versus them narrative by going in and saying that you're trying to make foes if you just play to win like anybody else would, which is ridiculous. Which goes to show, like, there's a bit of a bias there already in your argument and already in your perspective. There's already an insane level of bias because you're thinking that by playing to win, which is just a normal playstyle that anybody else would want to do, any other playstyle that they want to say, ultimately, like, that's just incorrect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to say that having different playstyles is encouraged, you're directly now going back on that statement by trying to say that by playing in the way that somebody wants to play, which is trying to win their game, you're trying to make foes and make it a terrible experience, like when it's not. Everybody wants to win their games. It's not like it's a foreign concept to DBD. Just because you don't experience that, or just because some people you speak to don't experience that, doesn't mean that's not a valid playstyle or a thing that people experience. They say winning isn't everything. If that's all you care about, maybe get into the comm scene. Like, no, you don't have to go to the comm scene to try to just win games. Like, come on now. People could just want to practice their characters and play. Like, I don't think that you're ultimately just incorrect in all of these ways. Like, if you're going to make statements like these, at least understand the context. Like, at least understand the point. Like, because you're going in with bad faith already because of the bias, and I understand that, right? I get it. You know what I mean? We can definitely see by your content that you're very focused on Survivor. I mean, like, literally at the very top, you're talking, every perk here is a Survivor perk, right? Except Hex right here, Thrill the Hunt, but that was 6 months ago, obviously. But check it out, Survivor perks here, Survivor perk here with the Survivor's Guide to Ghoul. You have the perk there for Shoulder the Burden. You have Dramaturgy. You have Red Herring. So check it out right here. Look, most of your content is focused around Survivor, which I understand that. Maybe there's like an insane bias going on there. That's perfectly fine. But you need to be fully aware of that. So in the same way that I'm going into the video and I'm trying to acknowledge, like, I may not agree with this playstyle, but I can understand the perspective. That's the same way in the whole point of the video. So just stop trying to pick fights with people, man. You know what I mean? It's just, and at least if you're going to criticize like a point or at least something, at least make the, like, you know, be accurate with the point that you're criticizing. Because none of these things were said in the video. Like, like, honestly, come on now. But with that being said, man, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, you know, obviously do not send any hate to this person. We're not here to do that. That's not what I ever say to do in this community. That's not what we're about, obviously. But all I will say to you guys is just let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do not send anybody hate. That's not what we do around here. We're here to simply have conversations and talk about differing points. That's ultimately what we're all about. So don't do any of that, obviously. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, subscribe to all the YouTube things. Support with the links in the description. Follow on Twitch. Also join the Discord. Join the community. We can all start yapping in there about different parts of the topics. And I'll see you guys in the next video.